One thing I noticed on social media this year, that artists are calling each other out to resolve to be less worried about posting constantly, making less good art just to have something out. Right. Art marketing online is very much revolving around an algorithm with negative effects on our work, on our mental health. Instagram wants you to post not just once a day, but multiple times a day in order for your post to get shared with other people. It turns social media into a full-time job, which is all well and good for people who post about their own life or things that they're just doing or wearing. Art takes time, and a lot of people don't have a few hours a day to just work on your own art. A lot of people really are trying to make art constantly every day, to have something to post every day, which is leaving some of us disappointed with the quality of our work and is taking time away from longer projects that we could be working on and putting more care into. A lot of people are turning to the idea of just not posting all the time, which is great. I definitely don't post constantly. I often forget during the week, and I don't even try to post on weekends. That's definitely an option. But if you really want to post more often and you aren't making finished pieces every day, I do think that there are a lot of things that artists post that are very interesting that don't require finishing artwork, that I am always very happy to see. I love when people post pictures of their messy workspace, and some people have a beautiful workspace. I love when artists post messy thumbnails of art that they're working on and sketchbook shots. And that doesn't mean that your sketchbook has to be an art book filled with beautiful pages. Honestly, like, the messier the better. I think people really like the dirty sketchbook look, you know? I love when artists post unfinished works in progress. I remember when I was working on that big painting of the Badlands, there was this one moment in the beginning where the watercolor was mixing on the paper in this amazing, beautiful way, and I just had to take a picture of it. Another thing I like to do is to post sneaky little close-up shots of the finished work, like a particular detail in a painting that you really like. And by doing that, you've already made your one finished artwork into 2 posts, because you're not revealing the whole thing yet, you know? You can post a picture of yourself working on something. Some artists post photos of something that they're referencing or that's inspiring their work. Like if you do a lot of floral artwork, you can post an image of your setup or a flower that you saw while out and about that made you want to paint it. Maybe you could share that reference with other artists so that they can use it as well. That's a good way of providing value and giving people a reason to follow you. You can post an image of the cool new art supplies that you've discovered or just keep going back to all the time. A lot of artists also tend to post really old art that they haven't posted for a while. Not just because you have, more people that haven't seen it before, but also we have like this really disposable outlook in society where you see something once and you consume it and then it's kind of gone forever and it's forgotten. And as an artist, that kind of makes me feel bad for a lot of my older paintings because some of them were just really good, but I just haven't been known or seen well enough for that art to really get its time in the spotlight. It also lets people see how far you've come if it's particularly old. One thing I don't see quite as often is artists posting accidents, mistakes, spills, art disasters. It gives you an opportunity to tell an amusing or motivational story. It would make you seem a little bit more human. And people love funny things and people love feeling motivated. So that's another way to add value to your post to make people actually want to follow you. You can post some clever tip that you found or discovered, with a supply that you're using or a program that you're using. Share your knowledge. Another way to add value. I love when people post stacks of their old used sketchbooks. Oh my god, like when the sketchbook is just finished and it is busting out with papers and leaky paints and the binding is broken and it's just like poofing up. People really love that. And, you could post pictures of swatches. Because I feel like when we follow other artists, we are very deeply interested in not just the art that's made, but also the lifestyle of making art and seeing what it's really like. It's not just art appearing out of nowhere. There's a process to it, there's stages to it, and speaking from the perspective of someone who aspires to be an artist but struggles a little bit with it, that's the stuff we really want to see. We want to see people blazing that trail, right? To achieving their goals and their dreams, but we really want to see that trail as it's happening so that we can follow that trail for ourselves, be less frustrated and helpless and clueless about what to do, you know? And that's why I keep up with this channel, even though there are lots of days where I feel like I couldn't possibly offer anything to anyone. I'm not an example of what most people see as success, but I feel like we could learn so much more from setbacks and art disasters and stuff like that than you could just from a polished portfolio, you know? And that's the kind of stuff that I like to see, so don't feel weird about sharing incomplete and imperfect stuff. Take it easy, guys, and thanks for watching. I also sell original art, sketchbooks, really nice prints, handmade calendars, pet commissions, and even some one-of-a-kind wearable art jewelry. I also have a sketchbook club on Patreon, where we fill our sketchbooks according to a theme, and some tiers even get original sketches mailed to them.